From Fred Phelps to the Kinsey Six. The best of the best from Central Kansas and beyond. We do it all. We are KJAG Radio and the Jiggy Jaguar Radio Show. Log on to JiggyJaguar.com and KJAGRadio.com for more.
Back here on KJAGRadio.com, I'm Jiggy Jag out here at the KS Cosmosphere and Space Center in the great Salt City, Hutchinson, Kansas. And I've got one of the top weather experts in the entire country with me. And I'm going to get the hell out of the way and let the people with talent talk. J.D. Rudd from KSN3. What are you doing, brother?
Hanging out here today at the Cosmosphere, talking to folks about what's going on, talking about weather and things like that. Of course, Sean Casey's here, the Tib is here, so giving everybody kind of the rundown on what to do when bad weather comes again, which is going to be happening this spring for sure.
That's cool. Well, tell me a little bit about how long you've been doing the meteorology thing and been in the business.
Well, let's see. Well, I'm a Salina boy myself, born and raised in Salina, graduated from Central High School, and then I wanted to do radio. And I was working at radio at 92.7 at the time, and then moved away to North Dakota to go to broadcasting school, and then I got into radio there. That was back in 2001. And I did radio for 4 years, and of course, with the way radio goes, some days you're great, and some days you're not. So they kicked me out of radio, and I needed a job. I happened to know a couple guys who worked at the TV station in town where I was living, and they said, hey, why don't you come be a weekend weather guy? Okay, so I did that, and they said, hey, you're actually pretty decent at this. You should go to school, get a degree, and become an official meteorologist. So I went to school, did that for 3 more years, and then in the process of that, heard there was a job opening back in Wichita, the area. I'm like, hey, I got to go back home. I applied for the job. Somehow, some way, the lucky leprechaun was there, and I got hired on, and I've been at KSN since 2008, since January of 2008, so coming up to 4 years now of being at the station. And originally just hired to be a one-day-a-week guy. I was just supposed to work Saturday morning cartoon cut-ins. And now here I am, Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock in the evening hours, and we've got something great going on. I think I can announce it now. I think we put the press release out that starting on January 2nd, we're also going to produce newscasts for Fox Kansas, so I'll be on Fox Kansas as well as on KSN. So wow, a lot more me all over your TV.
That's cool. Now, what was the toughest thing going through all your training and all your classes and things to learn about weather?
Wrapping my head around everything, I think it was, because, again, growing up in Kansas or whatever else, I was used to the storms. I was the kid who had my face pressed against the window. Mom's going, get away from the window, and I just wanted to know what was going on. I heard about the tornadoes, I'd see the hail, and my mind wanted to know, why does this happen? So I got into all this, and just trying to wrap my mind around, wow, this is a violent, intense thing that we have no control over at all, but it affects all of us every day of the week. Even when it's sunny and nice outside, there's still something going on in the atmosphere. And with the technology we have these days, phones, cell phones, computers, we can do so much in the palm of our hand, yet we don't know much about the weather still. We still don't know exactly how tornadoes work. That's why there's guys like Sean Casey and the Tib who are trying to find out more about these things, and that's what passionates me, if you will. I want to know what drives this stuff, how it works, how to harness all this.
That's cool. Now, with all the technology and things these days, has it made it easier to be a weather forecaster than it was back in the day?
No. Or? I think the weather technology, in a way, has made it harder. Because you've got so many amateurs, as it were, at home who can look at the same stuff that I do now. They can go online, look at the same forecast model charts, the same wind charts, and make their own forecast. And go, well, how come my forecast was right and yours wasn't? So they're able to judge you more because they've got access to the same information. At the same time, even if they don't access the information, they've got more avenues to watch my forecast. They can watch it on their phone, they can watch it on their TV. So if I have a bad day where I say, yeah, tomorrow's going to be partly cloudy and it's going to be, 58 degrees, and it turns out to be sunny and 64. That was a bad forecast, and then I'm going to hear about it. Or at the same time, the guy who, when I say, oh, tomorrow's going to be cloudy with 3 inches of snow, and it's cloudy and 12 inches of snow, I hear about that. So everybody's got these avenues with technology to stay connected to us and to let us know when we didn't quite do as well as we should have.
Yeah. Now, with weather and all the different, like you said, technology, things of that nature, what is the one thing you want to come along that will help you more that just hasn't been invented yet, that you're just like, it'd be really cool if we could do
Here again, I will give you an answer you're not expecting. I don't want the technology to get too advanced.
Yeah.
I don't want the technology to be so good it replaces me. I'm serious.
There you go.
There's about
You do not want to be, what is the new term now? Reduction in workforce.
In force, exactly. I don't want to be ripped, as it were.
Exactly.
I don't want that. We have about 4 million.
You guys from Wichita know about this whole rift thing.
Man, do we ever. So many people have been exploited by that. But there's when it comes to weather stuff, there are 4 main forecast models that are out there. Sure, you could put one of those forecast models in the air, and 7 days out of the week, it may be right, or off a little bit.
Yeah.
But sometimes it can totally miss something. That's why you need a meteorologist to interpret all the data and give you their best guess, which is sometimes just a best guess.
Yeah.
If there ever were a piece of weather machinery invented that could forecast everything, they wouldn't need me.
They wouldn't need you.
I wouldn't have a job anymore. So I don't want it. So that's one thing I don't want to happen. One thing I do want to happen, though, is because of where we live, because of all the destructive tornadoes, the hail, is there's something going on in the weather community right now. I want to see the warning process improve. I want this to be less of us crying wolf and more of actually issuing warnings when there is actual danger, as opposed to, hey, there's a tornado, maybe, go to your basement. As soon as that happens 5 times to a family in a week and nothing happens, they start ignoring that warning. Then all it takes is the one green spurt, the one drop to blow through, and who knows what happens to them. So I want to see this warning process improved.
Tell us what you got here with the, is this just basically a big banner with your name on it, or are you actually taking people through
There's a banner with my name on it, yeah, but if we want to sit here and talk, there's an actual presentation on here talking about what severe weather is like in Kansas, talking about hail size, the big hailstones, how to identify tornadoes. A lot of folks don't know the difference between a watch and a warning. There's an educational part on here about what that means. So just kind of running through the basic severe stuff, even though it is a quiet part of the year and things like that. Just to kind of get that little refresher, because before we know it, spring will be here. And it's not uncommon. I recall in 2008, I think it was, we had a tornado watch for central Kansas on Christmas Day. It's not uncommon for us to have bad weather even in the winter.
So Santa could have got nailed by a tornado.
Santa could have been dodging hailstones up there. Rudolph could have been, smacked by golf ball hail. We don't want that.
Now, I find it just so strange with the world we live in. I used to live in Salina, and I used to work for a station called 92.7 The Zoo. And I just find it so strange.
Interesting. Funny how that works.
Yes. Were you J.D. Rudd on there? Did you have an odd name like Crash Davis?
I was intern J.D. because I started out as an intern my senior year of high school.
No, that's what you did too.
And I was there for about a semester, and then I stayed on that summer when they were going through the digital transition. I helped put all the CDs into the digital thing back when they were on the 8th floor of the United Building.
Thank you.
So, and then shortly after that, they asked me to stay on, but I couldn't. I had to go on and go to college and things like that, so I left. And then I know shortly thereafter, things happened, ownership changes and things like that. And,
oh yes.
That lovely world.
So you might have known a gentleman by the name of Brother Ken.
I did know Brother Ken. I sure did. I worked with him and JJ and Phil Manila when he was there. All those guys. Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
I think Darren was the GM, if I recall. For his last name. It was back when Waite owned the company.
Yeah.
Darren was the GM, and then Brother Ken was there, JJ was there, Phil was there. Roxanne started there right after I left.
Yes.
So I remember those folks over there.
Well, how can people connect with you online besides the KSN website? Do you have like a Twitter?
Yes, this is the beautiful thing about technology, and that's one of the things I try to push out the most, because I know some of the older guys aren't into the technology, but I've got Facebook and I got Twitter. I've got public profiles, facebook.com/JDOnTV, twitter.com/JDRudd, RUDD. Link up with me. If there's warnings out there, I'll try to pass them along. If it's a quiet day, I'll try to give you some kind of humor, some kind of good weather information, something like that. Let's communicate. This is no longer a one-way street. It used to be people went home at night, sat down, watched the news, and they were told what was happening. No, this is communication now. This is 2 ways. So when I say something to you, I want you to say something back to me. If I say, hey, it's snowing at 32 in Salina, I'm going to say, no, it's not. It's freezing rain at 33. Let me know. Help be an observer for me. Let's open the dialogue.
That's cool. Well, I appreciate it, sir. Thanks for doing this.
Hey, no problem at all. This is fun stuff.
Good stuff, man.
I like this. This is fun for me.
And thanks for watching KJAGRadio.com.